A very good afternoon to one and all. On behalf of the IQAC cell of Government College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Khandola, I, Dr. Dilecta DeCosta, welcome you to this very much needed FTP, which commenced on the 6th of this month and will get over on the 12th of this month. So this very much need-based FTP, which is Bharatiya Gyan Mahotsav, revisiting Indian knowledge system, is brought to you by our college. And today is the third day. We had two wonderful sessions, that is on 6th and 7th. And today is the third day, and for which we have a very renowned speaker in the field of microbiology, and that is none other than Dr. Deshmukh, who is the MBSI, that is the Microbiology Society of India president. So without much ado, I welcome you all to this third day of the FTP. And to start with, we require the blessings from the Almighty. So I would call upon our faculty, Dr. Michelle, to please say a prayer. Dr. Michelle, over to you.
Let's say a prayer. Dear God, as we gather to explore the microscopic worlds that shape our existence, we humbly seek guidance in unraveling the mysteries of microbiology. We thank you for the blessings of this day and the purpose of this session. Grant us the clarity of thought, and may this seminar help us to understand and appreciate the intricacy of IKS, which is similar to that of microbes that impact the world around us.
Thank you, Michelle. Now I call upon our principal, who is our mentor and the dynamic leader of our college, who was the one who sowed the seed of this IKS FTP, to please welcome the gathering for today's session. Madam.
Thank you, Dr. Dilecta, the IQD director of our college. And IQC itself is hosting this 6-day online FDP on Bharat Ka Gyan Mahotsav, revisiting Indian knowledge system. And we had a last 2 days dealing with a big renowned eminent personalities on this platform, and today amidst us we are very blessed to have Professor Arvind Deshmukh, president of Microbiology Society of India. Professor Deshmukh is always with us whenever we invite him. I may say that he's always on call with us, and he has always kept our college, our small government college Khandola, in his world of microbiology. And as soon as we have sent invitation that please be give us an honor to be one of the great resource person, he quickly said yes to us. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and we are blessed to have with us my participant from various colleges from Goa, across India, and my faculty members from Government College Khandola. So we know that uh, you know uh, from ancient time it is not that we were not knowing microbes as such. Okay, yeast or wine, or whenever uh, we have always that has given us a good health, but sometimes we were never knew it, like in the terms of science and technology. One day our life will be on microbes, and I'm very happy that you are going to give insight in this matter. uh, as far as Indian knowledge system is concerned, the atoms and molecules which we used to see 200 years back, and now the definition of atoms and molecules have changed in nanoscience. It is totally changed. So if you want to say science and technology, atom is remaining same, but its importance is use of finding out from ancient time, and the development of science and technology has changed a lot. And this is a gift of science and technology for the basic molecules like atoms and molecules from which this world has been formed. And we need to look into such type of findings which has helped us from better approach for to leave us very happy in this world. So now, in that respect, the today's lecture by Professor Deshmukh will be really helpful for all of us, and we all of should take benefit from learned knowledge personality like Deshmukh, who will be delivering his all experiences developing microbiology or world of microbes, microorganism rather, uh, from the ancient to middle age and to the 21st century. So in sense, it is going to give us deep understanding and maybe curtain raiser for all of the science people who have joined for this faculty development program. So I wish all of you a very happy afternoon, very fruitful learning from today's speakers, Professor Deshmukh. So thank you once again and welcome you all to the platform of Government College Kandola, and wish you all a very happy session, and see you all tomorrow also for the next at another session. Uh, Over to Dr. Dilecta.
Thank you, madam, for those kind words. So, yeah, am I audible? No one questions the existence of presumptive knowledge of invisible organisms causing disease, decay, and destruction. These facts were mentioned before the discovery of the microbial world by Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, who was the first to describe the invisible world as per literature available today. However, the knowledge about microbial world by Indian rishis presented in Sanskrit shlokas or suktas of our traditional manuscripts such as the Vedas remained unseen, where the rishis had predicted the role of microorganisms known as krimi or jivanu years before organisms were known to us or made known to us before Leeuwenhoek. This note or this FTP or this session is an attempt to bring an emphasis to revisit our traditional Vedic knowledge and establish them through research-based facts for wider acceptance globally. And to do this, we can think of no one better than Dr. Professor Arvind M. Deshmukh, who is the National President of the Microbiology Society India. His topic today is Indian knowledge system through the lens of the microbial world. But before he begins, we would like to know more about Dr. Deshmukh. So I request our faculty, that's Dr. Sulochana Sheth, Assistant Professor of Microbiology in our college, to please introduce to the participants Professor Arvind Deshmukh. Over to you, Sulochana.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Good afternoon to one and all. I am Dr. Sulochana Sheth from Department of Microbiology. I am indeed happy to introduce the President of Microbiology Society India, Dr. Arvind Deshmukh, who is a former professor and head of Department of Microbiology in Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar Marathwade University, Osmanabad. He has also also been the chairman of Board of Studies in Microbiology and member of Board of Studies in Research and Recognition Committee and of Environmental Communities of University and Government Organization. Dr. Deshmukh has dedicated 37 years of teaching microbiology and has been active in guiding a number of students for their research work. He has published 82 research papers in journals of national and international repute. To his credit, Dr. Deshmukh has had a major and two minor projects. Dr. Deshmukh has been a resource person at numerous conferences and at universities and colleges. He has been conducting seminars, conferences, and workshops in India as well as abroad. For the last 5 years, he has been organizing virtual classes where he invites eminent speakers from around the world to deliver sessions in microbiology. His passion for microbiology has led him to propagate the subject through radio, newspaper, very specifically in Marathi newspapers. Some of his topics include biofertilizers, biopesticides, vermicompost, and environmental pollution. His interest areas include nanotechnology, biotechnological solutions to e-waste, biodiversity of actinomycetes, biogas, and dye degradation. Thank you, Dr. Deshmukh, sir, for being with us virtually today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sulochana. Sir, I invite you to please give your talk, Dr. Arvind Deshmukh.
Thank
We're
you.
eagerly waiting to hear you.
Yes, thank you, madam. Really, I'm thankful to Honorable Principal of your college, Professor Samant, madam, Vice Principal, Dr. Gehlot, Head of Department, Dr. Dilecta, and all staff members of your college. The reason is that today's webinar, or from 3 days, different lectures are going on a very, very important topic of India. We are Indians and we should know who we are, what we know, and what were our forefathers in the education. And today's webinar definitely will put or will focus light on the different topics, different aspects of Indian education system. So I will share my screen and yes, is it visible now? Is it visible? Please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is visible. Okay.
Yes.
I will try to make it as a full screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. And okay. So, Indian knowledge system through the lens of microbial world. Now you see, the microorganisms are, let us come to the India first. In the India, what was the status of education? What was the status of research? Takshashila and Nalanda, they were big universities, they were international universities. And we were at the top among all countries in the world. It is a report is there that students from different countries were visiting India. We are coming to India and we are getting education from these two big universities. Then today my question is that, or people are asking the question, what has happened today to Indian education system? So really, I am thankful to national education policy. They have given importance to the Indian knowledge system. They are making an attempt and trying to educate the people of India that India was also very rich in past about the knowledge. So without getting disappointed, it is my duty, it is your duty to learn in the different aspects what was the education system in India and what we should proceed in the future. So, Indian knowledge system through the lens of microbial world. Now, today I will be talking about the microbial world. Now, today, as I believe, there are not only microbiologists, there are participants from other branches also. And they may not be aware regarding microbiology and microorganisms. So, in short, I will focus light on the microbiology first, and then we'll go to the Indian history. So, what is the microorganisms? Microorganisms are tiny microorganisms, invisible microorganisms which are not visible to the naked eye. And these microorganisms, for observation, we require a microscope. So, it is a tiny individual which cannot be seen by naked eye is known as a microorganisms. And during the introduction, Madam has rightly told that credit goes to father of microbiology, Antony van Leeuwenhoek. In 1677, first time he reported, actually before him also, there are evidences that few microbiologists, few scientists, they have reported, but they have not published the paper. Credit goes to Antony van Leeuwenhoek. He first time, he is called as a father of microbiology because he observed through the lens and he noted down the pictures, figures of the microorganism which he observed through the microscope. And he is the first person to publish a scientific paper. That's why he is called as a father of microbiology. Then, what are the microorganisms? In microbiology, there are 5 different types of microorganism. Most commonly known to all is a bacteria. Second to bacteria, bacteria are also known as a jivanu. I am coming to the point. Fungi. Fungi are known as a kavak in Hindi. Algae. Algae are known as a shaival in Hindi. Protozoa. Protozoa are known as a adijiv. And viruses are known as a vishanu. These 5 organisms.
Sir, please excuse me. Sir, are you changing your slides or?
Yes, I'm changing slide.
We can't say.
But we are seeing only first slide.
Okay, I will check.
Okay. Okay, sir. Then,
Just 1 minute.
yes.
So this is the first slide, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see slide.
1 minute. 1 minute, please.
Sir, present your screen. You
Yes,
came
I'm
out of
doing
your
it.
screen.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it again. I have stopped sharing. Again,
Okay,
I will
okay.
share.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
We can't see. Now we can see.
Now.
Okay. So
Now this is the
problem
first
arises
slide.
when I make a full screen. So I will not make a full screen.
Ah,
Yes.
Now second
ah.
slide
Yes, sir.
visible.
Yes, sir. Bacteria, fungi, all that. Correct.
Yes.
So you're
So
on this slide now?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Continue.
So bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa, and viruses. These are the 5 different types of microorganisms which we are studying in microbiology. Other than these, there are few other called as a prions, but we are not going in detail. Only 5 types of microorganism we will consider. Now, what are the branches of microbiology? Why I am telling you, I will tell you the reason. The reason is that which branches of microbiology were known in Vedas by Rishi Munis. For that purpose, we have to see what is the scenario today. Today, the industrial microbiology, you see, there is a branch industrial microbiology, but in old time, there were no industries. Question doesn't arise about development of industrial microbiology in the history. Then environmental microbiology today is a big branch. Plastic pollution is there. Then electronic pollution is there. Solid waste is there. Municipal waste is there. And how it is treated by the microorganism is a special branch. But if we look in the history, there were no plastic. In the history, there were no mobiles, no laptop, no electrical equipments, and in the history, there was no municipal water. As the people were not facing this problem, they have not done research. They have not noted any observation. So, we'll forget about the industrial microbiology and environmental microbiology in past. Next is agriculture microbiology. And definitely, in old days, agriculture was a practice. Cultivation of crop was a practice. People learn to cultivate the crops and harvest food grains. And second important branch is a medical microbiology. Medical microbiology was a very, very important topic during that days. The reason was the average life span was below 40 years. Today, in India, average lifespan is 70 years. But at that time, it was only 40 years. So, medical aspect was a very important because the people or human being was doing a progress, but people realized that he can do the progress only he remain alive. And to be alive or to die was dependent on microorganism, disease causing microorganism. So, medical microbiology, you see, in the Vedas, in the Sutras, and Upanishads, everywhere maximum concern is of medical microbiology. Means why medical microbiology was important in old days. That's why I told you industrial microbiology, environmental microbiology was neglected in old days. Now you see. First of all, I will focus before going to the Vedas and Upanishads. I will focus whether our people were knowing the microbiology. The answer is yes, although they have not reported the pictures of microorganism. There were no microscopes 1,000 years before, 2,000 years before, 8,000 years before. But even then, indirectly, our Indians were very clever and they were knowing the microbiology indirectly. What is the first oligodynamic effect? We are teaching in microbiology. Oligo means little, dynamic means certain metals like a copper, gold, silver, in a very, very minute concentration, they kill the microorganism. And our Indian people were knowing. That's why you see in old days, all vessels used in kitchen were made up of copper. Today they are made up of steel. Steel doesn't exhibit oligodynamic effect. Plastic, there are many plastic vessels are used in kitchen. These plastic material do not create oligodynamic effect. What is oligodynamic effect? Again, I will clarify. And in old time, people were knowing that my health will be good if in the kitchen we'll use the copper metal vessels. So, because gold was costly, silver was costly, so copper metal was used, and vessels from copper metal were regularly used for drinking water and for making the food material in the kitchen. Again, one more example I would like to give. What was the practice in old days? In old days, the water was stored in copper vessel, and in the morning, people were drinking the water which was stored in the copper vessel for throughout the night. The reason was the copper ions were released in water, killing all pathogenic microorganisms, and water was safe for consumption. You see, again I am coming to the point. The maximum disturbances to the human being are only because of polluted water. In the rainy season, doctor will never take the leave because all hospitals are full only in the rainy season, and the main reason is drinking polluted water. That is also a problem today. In the old time, people realized, and they were using copper metal not only for that, for worshipping God. Meaning is that we call it as a tirtha. Tirtha means the water after bathing the god statues. The water, used water, was called as a tirtha, and that was consumed, and always this process was carried out in the copper metal vessel. So copper metal was considered as a very important. Today we are teaching the same in our microbiology laboratory that was known earlier. Second, alteration of crop. You see, agriculture microbiology. Our people were knowing alteration of crop means the always in the field, symbiotic and non-symbiotic crops were cultivated alternatively. If we cultivate symbiotic, next time it was non-symbiotic. Why? Symbiotic plants, leguminous plants, are having root nodules on their roots, and they were able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Understand again? In the atmosphere, ample nitrogen is present, about 76% nitrogen is present in here. But the soils are having scarcity of the nitrogen. And nitrogen is one of the important requirements for the cultivation of crop. Although our old people, they were not knowing the rhizobium organism, azotobacter organism, nitrogen element, but they were knowing alteration of crop increase fertility of soil. That is also microbiology, you see. Second, biopesticides. Azadirachta indica, we call it as a neem. The extract of neem leaves or neem seeds was used as a preservative of the food material. Understand? Meaning is that people were knowing that the extract prepared from Azadirachta indica kills the microorganisms which are causing spoilage of food. Although they were not knowing the microorganism, the madam in the introduction have rightly used the word cremies. People were knowing cremies, but they were not exactly knowing the structure of the microorganism. But that concept were clear in old time. Then, after death, you see, how the precautions were taken after death. People were knowing that whenever person die, it is because of some cremies, and which are toxic cremies. They were also knowing, they have divided in old Vedas, toxic and non-toxic cremies, meaning is that today we are calling it as a pathogenic and non-pathogenic microorganism. So, people were knowing the death is because of the pathogenic microorganism. Vedas also have noted these cremies are communicable. Meaning is that people were knowing these microorganisms are communicable. So after death, there was a common practice called as a sutak. Sutak meaning is that for 14 days, all members in the family remains only in the house, do not mix up in the society. That is called as a sutak. Why? To avoid the communication of disease. And after burning, again understand, burning was process. Why burning? Because to prevent the spread of disease. People were knowing that if the dead body is kept as such, there is a possibility of spread of the microorganism. So, dead bodies was either buried or was burned to prevent the spread of microorganism. And the bathing was a very important process after the burning the dead body. Why again bathing? The same reason you see. And 14 days not to touch to anyone. Why? You see, means they were clever. Really, the people were clever. They were knowing the microbiology in India. Then, whenever the holy festival was there, in the holy festival, the food was prepared in mass scale. At that time, the Brahmins were using ritual purity. In Marathi, we call it as a sore. Ritual purity meaning is that all these food, the persons which were preparing the food material, they were not touching to any person. And any other person from the family was not allowed to touch to the persons preparing the food material. That was called as a ritual purity. Why? Again, the reason is the same. The reason is that the microorganism, whenever other person will touch to the food material, they may contaminate the food material which is prepared on a mass scale. And the mass infection probability is there. And there were incidences. So, what people did? People, under the name of God, preserved food material and were told to the other family member, don't touch to the food material which is prepared on a large scale. Then, last one, washing legs before entering home, before entering temple, and entry without chappal or without shoes. Why this process was carried out? The reason is that people were knowing there are cremies outside. Although In 1677, Antony van Leeuwenhoek first reported, and then Robert Koch first told about the pathogenic microorganism, then contribution of Louis Pasteur in telling the different properties of the microorganism. But in ancient time, in India, people were knowing microbiology not directly but indirectly. And I still remember at my home also, my father was not allowing me to enter in the home without washing my legs. So, means already sanitary precaution was taken in old time. That is about the microbiology. Let us come to the fermentation. I am coming again to the Vedas, and I am sure I will complete my lecture within the time, and I will give 10 to 15 minutes for the discussion. So, the fermentation again, food microbiology was also, human have used fermentation to produce foodstuff and beverages. You see, in the Neolithic age, for example, fermentation is used for preservation in a process that produces lactic acid found in such sour food. Means pickle was prepared from many years back. There are reports that pickle was a common food material in their diet. Then it was known as a kombucha, kimchi, and yogurt. They were prepared, and it was known to the people, as well as producing alcoholic beverages such as a wine and beer was a common practice in old days. Then the use of fermentation, particularly for beverages, has existed since the Neolithic age, that is documented dating from 7000 to 6600 before Christ, that is a BCE, and in India also it has been noted, not only in China, not only in other countries. It has been noted that fermentation process was commonly used, because whenever Louis Pasteur discovered the microorganisms are responsible for the fermentation, but before that, fermentation was carried out. In the, you see, in the history, in the Purana, at the time of Krishna, it is written that the curd was commonly consumed by Krishna and all Gopikas. What is a curd? Meaning is that in old time, people were inoculating, they were knowing the inoculum. From the last curd, 1 spoon was inoculated in the milk, and they were knowing all details. First, milk was heated to kill the normal microorganism from the milk. Then 1 spoon of inoculum was added, and people were knowing that in cold season, the curd preparation process is poor. It requires an incubation temperature. So, slightly mild hot milk was used. All these things, although they were not knowing the microorganism, they were knowing the process of fermentation. So, not only in that, in Mexico, in Sudan, in all other countries, there are reports, and also in India, the fermentation reports are there. Now, see, I am coming to the Vedic period. Vedic period means about 8,000 years before. I will explain all the things of Vedic period. That is, at the time of 8,000 year BC. Again, I am coming to that. What was the geographical area of India at that time? At that time, Afghanistan was considered as India. Pakistan was considered as India. Actually, Afghanistan was known as a Gandhar. Gandhari was from Afghanistan. And right up to Burma, Brahmadesh, up to Burma, the India, including Bangladesh, the India was there. And in India, the Rishi Munis, they were residing in India, and they first time have means you see Rigveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda, and Samved. These are 4 types of Ved. Naturally, the question arises whether these Veds were written. No. At that time, there was no ink, there was no paper, people were not knowing. Although speaking language was there, Sanskrit was there, but even then, how to write, that was not known. Actually, you see on the stone, some written material, very few written material is there. But at that time, there was no paper. So how these all Vedas are prepared by Rishi Munis? Only mouth to mouth. The gurus were telling to Shishyas. Shishyas later on become gurus. They were giving this knowledge to their Shishyas. And in this manner, all these Vedas were preserved. Understand? It is very interesting to know that all Vedas, now they are in written. We have the copies of Vedas. But all these Vedas, now known to us, were only told by Rishi Muni orally and were memorized by their Shishya orally and was transferred to the next generation. And many Rishis, you see, the contribution of many Rishis is there. In India, many Rishis are there, but the maximum contribution in the medical microbiology is by Kanva. Kanva Rishi. Kanva Rishi has written maximum thing, then Atri, Yamadagni, then Agasti, Bharadwaj, Vasishtha, Kashyap, Vishwamitra, and Angir Karva. These are the Rishi Munis, and even they were using maximum weightage was given to Agni, Vayu, Aditya, and Angira. These were 4 concepts given to the environment, and they have prepared Vedas. And again, I will explain it in detail. Just only introduction I am going to tell. I am telling you now. And there were sub-Vedas. What are the sub-Vedas? The Atharvaved, Dhanurved, Gandharvaved. These were Ayurved. Ayurved is also, now it is used, teaching in Ayurvedic college. It is a sub-Ved. So, Ayurved, Atharvaved, Dhanurved, and Gandharvaved are sub-Vedas. So, all knowledge was preserved. Naturally, the question arises, whether really they were having the knowledge? Yes, they were having the knowledge. And they classified like a human classification in Vedas. They classified all living things in different categories. What are the categories they have? Vedas have noted? Krimi. What is a krimi? Microorganisms. There are 2 types of microorganisms. They have given the name, visible and non-visible. Then Jalaja. Jalaja means in water, aquatic system. Sthavar. Sthavar means all plants which are not movable. Sarpa. Chatushpad. You see, Sarpa means like a snakes. Chatushpad. Chatushpad meaning is that we using hands and legs, including human being, all Chatushpad, and Pakshi, flying. Like that, they made the classification of living system. And they have noted, Vedas have noted different types of krimis. They have described it, and approximately 111 krimis are noted in Vedas. Meaning is that where they are knowing, yes, no, really they were knowing, and as I have told you, no writing means were there, and Rishi Kanwa maximum contribution, and Krimis were also known as different names were given. What are the different names? Jantu Nava. Then Sudra Jantu. Shudra Jantu means we called as a Kshudra Jantu. They were called as a Sudra Jantu. Pishach. Pishach is not like a python. It is a Pishach, meaning is that it is not a ghost. Pisha means microorganism. Adrishta, microorganism. They were different names for the microorganism. And Durmah was also known as a microorganism. In Atharvaveda, 3 chapters are totally devoted to the microorganism. Although we know that Antony van Leeuwenhoek in 1677 now is the father of microbiology, but in old time also the microbiology was known. In Atharvaveda, the microbiology is explained. In Suktas, they have called it as a Krimi Janavan, means microorganism. Then in Suktas, they have used 3 different terminology. Krimi Jhanam. Krimi Jhanam means different names were given. And in Bhadranayana was a Rishi. Bhadranayana was a name of Rishi. He explained antimicrobial herbs. You see, in old time, people were knowing antimicrobial properties of herb, as I have given you an example, Aza directa indica. So, the Bhadranayana has explained in detail different plants, and his reference always you can see in Ayurveda book, in Ayurvedic colleges. That is, what plants, their seeds, their leaves, their roots, and extracts, how they were useful in killing the microorganism. Again, one more thing, I am going to tell you, Agnihotra, sunlight, how they are killing the microorganism, it is noted in Veda. Means our forefathers were knowing microbiology. Then, Dhanvantari and Vagbhatta, they have written, you see, they also have written the method of vaccination for prevention of Masurika, that is called as a smallpox. At that time, they were calling it as a Masurika. Was also described in Grantha. Which Grantha? Grantha of Dhanvantari, which was revoked by present-day scientists. Again, I will tell you that the maximum knowledge in the Vedas, in the Suktas, and all in Granthas have been translated by European scientists, not by Indian. Means it is a very interesting that Europeans came in India, have taken these granths or all books, and they translated and they have told that Indians were knowing the microbiology. Because less efforts by Indian scientists, maximum efforts by the foreign scientists to tell that your Indians were clever. That's why really I am thankful to the new education system, NEP. First time this attempt is being made in India. And really I congratulate your college for arranging such a seminar on a very, very excellent topic, so that every one of you, including myself, should be proud of India. Not only proud of India, but we should learn and we should exploit that knowledge. Not only learn. What is our duty? I am going to tell in the last. What is our duty? To exploit the knowledge and to apply in today. So, Vagbhatta has observed that all the diseases are communicable. What is called? He called Sancharana Sila, word he has used, communicable. Shushruta and Vagbhatta have recognized innumerable diseases. Understand? And they are contagious. He called it as a contagious disease, toxic microorganism. He called it as a Shankara Maka. And second, in the Charak Samhita, in Shushruta Samhita, they called it as a infectious. They noted it. That is Shankara Maka Jivanu. They used the word Jivanu word came from Veda. Then Shushruta also advocated the microbial etiology of Kushta and states of krumi or bacteria along with three dosha. What is the three dosh? Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Understand? Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Kapha means in the respiratory system, the mucus is called as a kapha. Pitta. Pitta means in the intestine, Pitta was there. And Vata. Vata means in muscles and nerves. Vata was there. And they related the relation of krimis with the Vata, Pitta and Kapha, it has been noted, are involved in causation of all kind of Kushta. Kushta means all kind of disease. And Shushruta Samhita have noted it. In dealing with other diseases, Charak classifies 5 kind of brain diseases as Shiro Roga. Brain disease is called as a Shiro Rogas. Shiro means head. Shiro Roga. So, what Charak has classified? He states that Panka Siroga as Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Means again 5 different causes he has given. Sani Pata and Kumijah. Actually, I don't know the meaning of Sani Pata and Kumojah because I am not the person of Sanskrit. I don't know. Means I cannot read even Sanskrit. So, the Sanskrit teacher, and you see, this maximum research in India, I have visited that university. Maximum research in India is going on in Haridwar, Kangru University, Kangadi. In that university, research is going on. When I visited, you see, in the function, I was there in the function, one function, and Vice Chancellor of that university was in my function. So he came with the simple old dress, like a dhoti, kurta, and every day now, the yagna is going on in that university, Agnihotra. Every day, in every department. Again, I will tell you the importance of Agnihotra. So in India, you should be thankful to that university. Go to the Haridwar and visit that university. Really, they are doing research on Ayurveda, Agnihotra, and teaching to the student Vedas. Then in literature, you see, the krimi, as I told you, Rakshas, Pishacha, then Apsara, these are the terms used for microorganism in Vedic literature. Which Vedic literature? Like Rigveda, Atharveda, Saptapatha, Brahmana, then Taitriya, Upanishada, Aryanka. These are the names, you see. Many names of the books. Then Chandogaya, Upanishada, Vishnu Puran, Vayu Puran, Bhagavad Puran, then Raghuvansha, then Kama Sutra, and Mahabharata. They have explained all these, even minute waterborne microbes. In the Charak Samhita it is given, Shushruta Samhita it is given, and Madhav Nidhan, then Ashtanga Rida, Rasa Pradipa, Arka Prakashan. These are the different books of in the Puran. There are enormous microbiological centered data available that compels us to believe that microbiology is indigenous science of Vedic Bharata. Means we are giving credit to Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. It's all right. But we should know that in India, scientists, which are the scientists? Rishis were scientists. They were observing the things. And on Anuman, that is called as Anuman, Tarka, on the basis of Tarka, on the basis of prediction, they were noting and they were writing, or they were giving the knowledge about the microorganism. Ancient Indians were aware of the existence of microorganism as well as causation of disease. Now you see, the prophecy of Ayurveda that all diseases originate from stomach. In the Ayurveda, they have explained that stomach is the main cause of the disease. Again, I am coming to the point. In old time, health issue was important. They were not knowing about the plastic. They were not knowing about the EVAS. At that time, these aspects were not known. But health issue was a major at that time. And they have noted that stomach is the main cause. That is also proved today. Proving right now also, we are telling the same thing. Later, a similar statement by Hippocrates. Hippocrates in BC 460 to 370. What he told? He told that all diseases begin in the gut. At that time, actually, it is a wrong statement, but 90% it is correct statement. All diseases begin in the gut has opened a path to many novel researchers these days also. So, it is a very, very important aspect in the old time. Then, Kanva, what Rishi Kanva? I have told you, in all microbiology, we should give credit to the Kanva. We should call father of microbiology. Kanva is the father of microbiology in India at least. Rishi Kanva and his followers also described different morphologies and color of microbes. Understand? They have noted about the tuberculosis particularly, I told you. Tuberculosis. What was the color of cough? Yellow color of cough. They noted. Then in hepatitis, yellow color of body. And they have described the color of microbes indirectly, not direct. Their presence on different parts of human body. They have noted that organisms are present in the nose. These cremies, they called it as a cremies. Cremies are present in the nose. They are present inside the stomach. They are present on the skin and on different parts of the body. So, they also reported that cremies are present on plant surface, on animal, as well as their prevalence in different ecological niches such as earth, water, and upper strata of atmosphere. Forests and mountains. Here I have given reference in Ayurveda. I don't know exactly what means by 2.31.5, but there might be the group, subgroup, and sub-subgroup in the Vedas, Ayurveda. But Rishi Kanva has reported it. Then Yagna. I am coming to the Yagna. Rishi Agasti, his main contribution in Yagna, was also a pioneer in providing details about the shape, size, and motility of microorganisms. So, he was knowing that the microorganisms are invisible. He divided the microorganism in two categories: visible microorganism and non-visible microorganism. And he was knowing that non-visible microorganisms are also in two categories: toxic and non-toxic. He told that some microorganisms, although present in our body, on our body surface, they are non-toxic. He stated that Krimi also possess organs. You see, what is the prediction? He reported Krimi possess organs, organelles that work as the sense organ. Rishi also reported the inactivation of these Krimis by early morning ultraviolet rays emanating from such as Cremigenea and Vyadhis. Meaning is that at that time it has been reported in Vedas that if we reduce the hepatitis, use early morning sunlight. You see what was the prediction at that time. Now also our doctors are telling to us, because many children during the early period after the birth, they develop the hepatitis. What is given to the doctor? Although sometimes they are using ultraviolet lamp, or they are telling go in the sunlight and commonly expose your son to the early morning sunlight where the ultraviolet rays are born. That was reported by the Rishi Agastya in old time. According to Rishi Agastya, fumes of yagna also inactivate the krimis. Why yagnas are carried out and why the different plants were burned in the yagnas, because the volatile compounds in the plants, it has been reported now, if you perform HPLC, the plants have different volatile compounds which are killing the microorganisms. According to Rishi Agastya, what Rishi Agastya has told, fumes of yagna also inactivate the krimis, means the different oils were used. So all these in the yagnas kills the microorganism, which is also reported the modern scientific literature. Modern scientific literature also accept it. You see, one of the plant material is a Google. You go in Ayurvedic college, because I am on the ethical committee of Ayurvedic college, that's why I know it. That has been reported killing the air in your room by burning the Google in the room. And in the Islamic history, it has been reported they were using burning that plant in the room. All such studies have been documented in different suktas of Atharva Veda. Next, Agastya Rishi. It is reported that whenever there is an accumulation of toxin in the body, what Agastya has reported, whenever there is an accumulation of toxin in the body, it results in illness. Means, why illness is there, why disease is there, Agastya have reported that the krimis enter in body and produce a toxin in the body. As a result of it, there is an illness to the body. The same has been reported by germ theory of disease described by Robert Koch 200 years back. Robert Koch theory established, and it states about the presence of microorganism to the cause of disease and to the different toxin produced by the microorganism. A similar theory had been already established in our Vedic literature. Understand? Means Indian rishis were so clever, only with the help of symptom, only with the observations, they were predicting what is going on in the human body. And they have reported their prediction in the Vedas. That's why Vedas means what is again necessity today. Because of today's my lecture, at least you understand that Vedas is having maximum storage of the knowledge. At least to learn Vedas, we should learn Sanskrit, or the translated Vedas should be made available in every university, every college, and the subject should be made compulsory. Like environmental science is now made compulsory. Study of constitution is made compulsory. Study of Vedas should be made compulsory in the colleges and school. The theory means Veda has very much importance and ample knowledge. Now, Yajur Veda. The Atharvaveda script speaks about emphatically about the following sanitization hygienic practices. Meaning is that hygienic practices and sanitization was very common in old time. Means they have told, they have reported. It further describes that if disease-causing microorganism enters into food, water and milk and are consumed, can cause disease. That concept was very clear. Contamination. That's why I have told you. That's why while preparing the food at holy places and on mass scale, precaution was taken. Yajurveda talks about the ability of microorganism to adhere to the container, but could not describe conclusively the process of formation of biofilm. They were not knowing the biofilm, but they have reported on the surface of container the cremies were there, cremies possibilities there, which is now well established fact, biofilm. It further stated that if such containers were used without proper washing, cause illness. What a knowledge they were having. In the Yajurveda, it has been reported 13/7. Meaning is that in Yajurveda, already reports are there regarding microbiology. Now I will conclude in short. Charak, apart from the contributions of Rishi Agistha, Rishi Kanva, and his followers, two eminent rishis, Charak and Sushruta, contributed their knowledge about microbes in the Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita. Means there were many rishis contributed their knowledge. These two ancient Vedic medical treatises of the Vedic period serve as an excellent resource dealing with the modern concept of microbiology. Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita, which is taught in Ayurvedic college. Then Charak, the first time, the first physician, the Charak is called as the first physician, presented the concept of digestion, metabolism, and immunity. At that time, he also made certain statements regarding immunity and discussed about physiology, etiology, and embryology in Charak Samhita. Correct? Then next is Agnihotri. The theory of antimicrobial actions of the has been successfully reported by Nautal scientists nowadays. In India, also one scientist from Germany, he is visiting every conference and he is also telling the importance of Agnihotra. The study reported over 95% reduction of aerial bacterial population and absence of pathogen with 60-minute treatment. It has been proved now. Really Agnihotra works? Yes, Agnihotra works in cleaning the air, killing the microorganism. The cleanliness of the environment in the room was maintained up to 24 hours in the closed room. The recent study by Singh and Singh has demonstrated the role of chanting mantra. That mantra also they have given recent studies carried out. Whether mantras are having effect? Yes. They have given scientifically, they have tried to prove. You can go and see the research paper on the mantras. It can be available on the Google. During Agnihotra, resulting in high antiviral microbial activity of the smoke. Then last one is Havan Kundas. The Havan Kundas, that is the integral part of the hospital at that time. Havan Kunda was part in the home also in old time. In every home, there was a Havan Kunda to keep the air clean in house, which were used to produce fumes beneficial in disposing of the nosocomial infection. For preventing the nosocomial infection, the Havan Kundas were considered important in old time. Ayurveda claims that about 22 types of diseases are effectively controlled by Agnihotra, and curative and preventive power of Agnihotra. Now you see, I can tell you in detail about the Agnihotra. One of my students submitted PhD also on Agnihotra, but today is the not time to enough time to explain it. So Agnihotra, Yagnas are very well described in Rig Veda. The most ancient compilation of knowledge, we stated that sublimating the Havan Samagri. Havan Samagri means mixture of wood and odoriferous and medical herbs in the fire, accompanied by chanting mantras, possess antimicrobial activity. So, what is our duty? Our duty is have a synergism between traditional and modern microbial knowledge. It should be exploited. And unfortunately, in India, it is not carried out. We have forgotten the yogas. We have forgotten the Ayurveda. We have forgotten Vedas and running after only modern scientific technology. Of course, modern scientific technology cure, but do not improve your health. For improvement of the health, Vedas are essential. Ayurveda is essential. Means increasing the lifespan, Ayurveda is essential. Only after you are suffering, curing is the helps. The modern technology helps in curing. So challenges ahead in environment, agriculture, energy, and human health. Nevertheless, we need to revisit these scientific contributors in our ancient rishis and establish them based on research-based fact, so that these are widely accepted to the scientific community for the benefit of mankind. So it is a need today. All Vedas, Sushruta, Chara should be translated in all local languages so that common people will understand. Operations, surgical operations were also carried out. I will not go in detail. I will go to the conclusion now because time is more. The ancient Vedic literature are flooded with all kinds of knowledge, including microbiology. What is our duty? We have to switch back to see these sacred Sanskrit texts. The Vedas combine science with metaphysics and clearly mention that it is a God who is the giver of knowledge of all sciences as Shastrasam. By going through the papers, we come to know that ongoing microbiology is half-baked. Understand, it is a very important statement. It is half-baked microbiology is taught today in universities and colleges. The scattered information of microbiological knowledge has to be adjunct with modern microbiology. Thus, it would be right to say Vedas are the origin of not only spiritually, of course, spiritually they are origin, but microbiology as well as whole life science and modern science. So, today's I have tried to explain the microbiology means actually the Indian knowledge system via the lens of microbiology. And I don't know how far I'm successful, but it is a beginning because I kept in mind that today listeners may be non-microbiology. That's why I have tried to explain in a simple language. Let us hope that people have understood it. And again, lastly, I am thankful to the principal ma'am and director ma'am for giving this opportunity to me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. It was indeed, we are blessed to have you on this platform to give us this very informative talk. It is really, I'm overwhelmed, sir. I'm short of words. I'm in awe of you and in awe of the subject, because now what we learn is like old wine in a new bottle. So all this was already known to our ancestors, and only thing, we just failed to call them scientists, but they are scientists par excellence, our ancestors, especially the rishis that you mentioned, like Rishi Kanva, who is the father of microbiology, much before Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, and Rishi Agastya, who designed or who conceptualized the morphology, the motility, etc. Of the microorganisms or the creamies. And so Vedic literature, which is a literature or a science, I'm not saying literature, it's like a science of the past, has been there just as old as the microbes, because microbes are the very first inhabitants. Of course, they were all in the dark, and then they adapted to, do their metabolism in presence of sunlight, right? So on this informative talk, existing microorganisms using their oligodynamism, and giving us allowing us to use copper vessels at that point of time, and then we just changed to plastic containers, which is like very convenient to us, but all the same, I think we should revisit. That is why we have named our FTP as Revisiting the Indian Knowledge System, because that is where we have to go back to our ancestors and go back to our old literature and science that existed years back. And, like it's like how we have re-emerging infections. So now it is, we are revisiting our knowledge to see that it was already existing, and we can better upon it. And as you rightly said, that it is our duty to exploit this knowledge. So it's high time that we go back to what was there earlier and try to use it in our daily life, and will be able to combat all issues like health issues or other issues that come up in our society with regard to waste management and things like that. So, sir, thank you so much for this very wonderful talk. And now the floor is open online. It is open to our viewers to pose any questions or to give comments or suggestions, whatever. So, over to you, participants. I think it was a very wonderful talk, and I'm sure you will have many questions or many doubts that you want to clear. And Dr. Deshmukh is ever willing to do that. So, please do so.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir. I want to know about, you mentioned university in Haridwar, right? So I would like to know if there is already a microbiology department in that university which is dealing with ancient Indian text, or it's upcoming.
There is a biology department, and it is a very old microbiology department. And doctor, you go on Google, search Dr. R.C. Dubey. R.C. Dubey, he has written few books on Vedic microbiology. And the other Naveen Arora and many other teachers, I interacted with them. About 8 to 10 teachers are there. And these teachers have told me, in our university, every day Agnihotra is going on, Yagna is going on. So they are very, very active.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else would like to ask a question?
The university name is a Gurukul Kangdi University. Gurukul Kangdi University, Haridwar. And Kangdi is a name of someone Rishi's old time.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, you said that the Rishis, especially Charak, who was the first physician, he knew about microorganisms, and you talked about smallpox and all that. But couldn't there be any like medicine or whatever to control smallpox, because it took so many lives at that point of time? So what was the shortfall like?
You see, at that time, the instrument like HPLC and analytical instruments were not available. So, to discover the compound and antibiotic, it was difficult. But people were knowing, because to control the smallpox or tuberculosis, they were not knowing exact medicine against it. But they were knowing how to protect and how to minimize by using different plant extract. That was the attempt made at that time. And as per, you see, literacy means at that time people were not literate, much literate. At that time, their observation was a very big observation. And they tried to convey their knowledge to the people through the Vedas, through the Upanishads, through the other different books. And that was the attempt made. Otherwise, no more scientific study was carried out. Even as I have told you, they noted the immunity also. And in smallpox, you know that vaccine is playing very important role. They noted it. But the transfer of knowledge at that time, as there were no mobiles, no books, students were not coming to the schools, transfer of knowledge from one person to another person was a
so that means if technology was there, it would have been they would have been successful.
Correct.
Yeah, so transfer of knowledge was the limitation.
That was the main hindrance.
Oh, yeah, thank you, sir. So actually, we in the present day and age, we just want to ape some other culture when we have such an extensive and beautiful culture which can sustain us. Yet we want to go into some other culture. So it is high time for us to, rethink and
definitely your word revisit is a proper word. The reason is that, you see, people are telling now the lifespan is increasing. I'm telling, adding only one more sentence to it. Health is decreasing, lifespan is increasing. You will get surprised how sir is telling health is decreasing. Yes. Now you will not see the person above 60 years age without tablet, without capsule. Yes. If we stop the capsule and tablet from the market, 50% old people will die at the moment. 60 to 70% people. Means health is decreasing. You see, health is tremendously decreasing. But lifespan is increasing with the help of new technique and new medicine. So what is the need today? Need is to improve the health, not the lifespan. Healthy life should be there. Otherwise, what's the use if you are having diabetes on the bed from 5 years? It's of no use. So health improving should be the priority, not lifespan increasing should be the priority.
Yes, sir. We are only allowing more and more chemists and pharmacies to increase. Yes. So, anybody else, participants? At least a comment. You can unmute and say it instead of writing it into the chat box. Okay. Our principal ma'am will want to say a few words.
So, very, very beautiful presentation, and it really touched. I was telling Dilecta that you have taken our memories back to many years back, and which we were not knowing. and this will really helpful to our teachers to deliberate themselves in front of the student, because all this is for teachers and from teachers to the student. And I think this is the best message that your presentation has given us. In fact, I was also not knowing so many things. You have really made all doubts, I think, and all, we were thinking why to remove chappals and why to remove slippers, and then you have given the very right answer for that, which we used to say that old people are doing foolish thing. And we used to actually, young people are getting annoyed by that. If you tell them in the temple you remove the slippers, or in the house. So you have really given all the insight and which were really needed for us at this hour. So thank you very much, sir, for such a, you have worked hard to make this. This is a unique kind of presentation, I can tell. Anybody can speak on latest technology very easily. It is thought of, but you have really made journey from ancient time and really, enlighten us on that topic. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yes, sir, I reiterate my principal's words. In fact, when we were preparing for this FDP, so she asked me, Director, anyone who will speak on microbiology, and then at once I thought of you. It could be nobody better than you, sir, and you have really justified our choice. So I must say, so congratulations to you, sir, and you have, as she said, you have done your research very well, and given us so much of information which we were not aware. Okay, and maybe we were aware, but today we are made really much aware of what was there in the past and how it is having an impact. And it's time to exploit and revisit the past and emulate, not only revisit and ponder over it, but emulate. So that is good. And if there are no more questions, then
Screenshot, take photo with the resource person. Yeah, with this. Yeah, put on the camera and have a green screenshot.
Yeah.
With
So
the
all the participants, please put on your camera so we can have a group pic
with the resource
with the resource person.
Yes.
And after that, we'll have the vote of thanks by our faculty, Ms. Joanna Gonsalves, who is Assistant Professor in Microbiology in our college. You want some? Yeah. Okay, so over to you, Ms. Joanna.
Good evening, everyone. I express sincere gratitude to our resource person, Professor Arvind Deshmukh, for enhancing our understanding about the microbiology-related practices we have been carrying out all these years and the roots of microbial principles in ancient India. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank the principal of this college, Dr. Punnakala Saman, for all the support and encouragement. And thank you all for joining us today. Your active participation has made this session a success. Thank you once again.
Feedback.
Thank you. Thank you, Raj.